Greetings Tubiverse, I am one Noob, and in this Top War video, we're going to talk about the limits of battle stats. Now, I could have named this something like how to make a herringbone necklace out of the bones of your enemies, but I don't really think that YouTube would do a good idea of matching that up with Top War. I think they might mess up, so battle stats it is. Most players have seen both of these attempts from really smart players to explain what's important to invest in, because you can dump a lot of money into Top War, and who is likely to win a battle. I'll give them a little moment so you can bask in their glory, or, I don't know, maybe take a screenshot if you haven't seen them before. Okay, glory basking off. These are really outstanding, and I mean this, outstanding attempts to make sense of what to spend your time and resources on. Personally, I'm a huge fan, especially of all the spreadsheet nerds out there that take their time to make the stuff work. I am one of you, and there's a lot of value in understanding these. They don't agree 100% if you get deep in the weeds, though, and they have their limits, which can leave some people confused at battle outcomes and even sometimes mad enough to walk away from the game altogether. Let's remember that those weren't released by Top War themselves. Relax a little bit. If you want to check out a video on battle stats with a breakdown from yours truly, I'll link a video that I did on these at the end of this video so that you can get a deep dive into what we call it, the wild and wonky world of, shall we say, the nerdy dark side of Top War. So I want to take a moment to thank Richard C. over on server 2311. He made this all possible to do this video because he gave me access to this battle that he did. So he shot this battle report over to me. I did change the name of the person he fought because I'm just too lazy to try to find the person to get permission, and I didn't want to get a random stranger grumpy at me. The world's little high-strung right now, and I don't need the flack. But this is a real battle, and that's the only thing I doctored other than speeding things up. So it shows some really important limits to just looking at stats alone. Feel free to rewatch and pause to your heart's content. Also, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for my channel. It's free. And without you, in my life, I'd slowly wilt and die. And that's a song, I didn't sing it, but seriously, there would be no One Noob Top War videos without you, so thank you. Now, I'm sure some of you might point out some other solid things in this battle that I missed, because I can't catch everything, and there's limits to how much time you should do a video like this for, this kind of topic. So they can help a lot of people out. So please, in the comments below, fire away. Anything I missed, throw it in there. I really, really wish, this is a grumpy thing for me, but I really wish that our dear devs over at River Game would make it a little easier to figure out who is attacking what. That complicates these quite a bit for all of us. It would be easy enough to do like a little indicator, green indicator, little triangle or something pointing to who's attacking, and then maybe, I don't know, red crosshairs, not like I've seen this on a bunch of other games before, saying these are the people that we are attacking. It'd be that easy, please, developers, help us. But for now, we just have to read the tea leaves, and that can lead to things getting missed. So, Richard's question hit our One Noob Discord recently, innocently asking, "Hey, gents, any idea how I won this?" Now, I might have done a really bad job of imitating his English accent. I mean, he typed it and all, so I'm kind of guessing, and I'm not great at accents, but I like trying. The question was worth a look, and I'm so glad that I did. So no editing here on the video other than the name change thing, but I did have to speed it up. Again, no way out of that. There's some really good stuff here showing why a well-rounded education in PvP, or player versus player battles, will help you smush your enemies. Now, I get some people watch these at regular speed, but I don't have the attention span for it, and battles are like super long in Top War now, and I don't even know why. I mean, like I said, they won't even do the little indicator things. It's, I don't get it. So first off, let's look at the critical stuff that's sitting in this video. Richard is the attacker. That's actually pretty important. And they're both Navy. So suppressions are meaningless here. So he's got a leg up by being the principal attacker. And suppressions aren't going to help either one of them out. It also makes a little difference in what their lineups are value-wise. Richard is missing 2 stacks of Valhalla units. Shame on you, Richard. Do better. And his power is a lot less than the person he's attacking. Now, I know overall power isn't a great thing to base the winner on, but look at the march size difference here. Poor Richard is pretty badly outmatched in march size. And that's not all. The heavy trooper stats don't appear to be very favorable for Richard when you look at the stats, but he's using a way better heavy trooper and a better heavy trooper chip type. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a minute, wait. Heavy troopers aren't in the formulae that I showed earlier. Yeah, it's kind of a big deal, and we'll come back to that. He gets not only that right, but he puts his heavy trooper in a better position in the battle. Hey, what did I just say? What is that? Heavy trooper position? But that's not in the formulae for battles either. Am I going crazy? Well, I am crazy, but that's a different story. But now you're starting to get the hang of it. It's not in the formulae either, and it really matters. Coming to the rest of the core parts of battle stats, you'll see that Richard has a leg up on decreased damage taken for Navy, which is important. But his opponent, and I gotta name the opponent, so I'm just gonna call him Mr. Fluffy Pants here, for funsies, I like that. He's crushing Richard on virtually all, and I mean all of the other battle stats related to Navy. And not by a small margin. We're not talking about like razor differences, they're big. So if you were putting bets on who would win based on the formulas and all that other stuff, knowing both players have level 5 hero exclusives, I tried to click on everything that mattered for this battle for you to see and slow down to catch it. And everything else that you saw, looking through all of it, I think once you looked it over, you would expect Richard to lose. And listen, you're not alone. But that's not what's going to happen. And I kind of alluded to that in the beginning. I know, spoiler, it is what it is. But here's what flips. In round 3, things turn really ugly for Mr. Fluffy Pants, and I'm not going to explain why. Look at the hero abilities and what drops off in that round. It'll help. And his units start dropping like a bachelorette party that tried to fix their hangover by going to the all-you-can-eat buffet on a cruise ship. It makes it worse. I wasn't at a bachelorette party, but I've been on a cruise ship, and it makes it worse. This is despite his battle stats being way better. Now, why, you might ask? Now, I've already sprinkled in some hints, right? But let's connect all the dots together as a team. Two things you can never forget in Top War battles. The right heroes in the right order, I know you've heard this from me before and from others, can cancel out a lot of other stats advantages. That's thing number 1, and this is a good hero lineup for this type of fight, Navy versus Navy. Thing number 2 is that the right heavy trooper in the right slot with the right HT chips can also cancel out a lot of stats. Now, okay, I know that feels like 3 things, and okay, it could be. I'm gonna leave that up to you, so go ahead and let me know if you think it's like 2 or 3 in the comments below. I could go either way, whatever, it'd be fun to have that one out. In Richard's case, he's using a better heavy trooper attacker, and he's using that heavy trooper in a better slot for attacking. That's providing more attack support in the synergy between the battle formation type. They're using the same battle formation type. He's just using it better. And the heavy trooper Mr. Fluffy Pants is using just doesn't get that same balance in the end when you look at it. It's just not that good. Slot 5 for Blazing Gale overall is a defensive use. So I guess you could say, well, since this guy was a defender, that'd be good. But it's just not a good use for Blazing Gale. It won't get the same benefits of the heavy trooper attack speed that Richard is getting, and they both put a lot into attack speed, which is not easy to accomplish for their heavy troopers. Richard putting the Tide Crusher in slot 2 is just way better as long as they're both in their ultimate forms. Tide Crusher in slot 2, more gooder for Navy. Overall, using Blazing Gale in a Navy setup isn't a great match. There can be some good use cases for it, and things change with hero setups. Don't forget rule 1, but for right now, not so much the case. Plus, Richard is getting the benefit of 30% damage increase on his heavy trooper due to the chipset he's using, which is just a better chipset. As a matter of fact, Mr. Fluffy Pants having a higher HP in his stats when you look at how this works, it actually benefits Richard because it takes Mr. Fluffy Pants longer to fall below that 60% HP where the benefit of the Zeiston chip finally drops off. Weird, right? All those mechanics. In the end, none of this appears in the formula, right? And at this point, I think you can start to understand right. Why, right? Tongue twister is what it is, but it's hard to put these things in a formula, right? The reality is the game is just a lot more complicated than what it was 2 years ago. That's the simple fact. As River Game, the developers over at River Game, they keep building mechanics for a top war. They have to keep one-upping themselves. And that means other things, foundational things, they kind of devalue them a little bit. Richard C. wins because he kept up with what works in newer mechanics, simply put. Mr. Fluffy Pants put a lot of correct time and resources into his stats, okay? And listen, when you look at them, they make perfect sense. But they just aren't enough to overcome these other parts of this battle. And Richard wins more of these than you might think. This isn't the only battle report that he was able to send over to me. He actually does this on a number of folks that are stronger than him. This is why it's so important to keep up with the changes in Top War. Now, personally, I played this long enough. I know it can be frustrating, and I'm also still more than just a little, shall we say, miffed? I think that works. Yeah, a little miffed at the fact that I still don't have Doom Sawblade in his ultimate form, and I have all the others except for Blade Angel in their ultimate form. Not really in a hurry to do the Blade Angel thing. It costs money, and just not feeling it right now. I think it's a glitch for me personally because I've been playing forever, should have it now, and it makes me want to throw something at the devs, but dude, they live like super far away in my arm. It's just not that good. But I need it, and when I get it, I'm gonna win more battles. And this isn't because my stats will get better. They won't. It's because Doom Sawblade works better in attack versus the Earthshaker that I've been using forever, given that I play with Army as my main. Richard overcame some very serious stats working against him, including a ton of extra march. Don't be afraid to attack people that appear stronger than you. Keep in mind what I just said about certain mechanics in the game being devalued over time. All right. Looks can be deceiving. You win more than you might think, especially when you're a newer person putting money into the game. And the stats can be overcome through the things that I've discussed in this video and other stuff that I didn't include that's newer stuff, Titan Gear, Enigma Beast, and other stuff that'll happen after this video comes out. That's actually a reason why some older players stopped playing Top War altogether. Now that's a topic for another time, but if you want to win, staying current in mechanics is critical, as you can see from Richard's battle results. So I know I glossed over a lot. I mean, the intention of this wasn't a super deep dive into the mechanics of all things Top War. That would take a lot of time, all right? But I'd love to hear what you think on this video and the battle that I'm displaying in particular. Every like, comment, and subscription, even if it's just like, thanks man for the video, all this helps grow my channel. So please don't hesitate to show some love, right? Also, I link our Discord, the One Noob Noob Discord, at the end of every video here. We don't talk about 50 million things about people's personal lives in our Discord. We talk about Top War, and that's pretty much all that we talk about. So it's a free place for you to come in. We're not gonna ask you to buy anything. We just like to talk about how to get stronger in game, and just the culture of our Discord is limited to that. So come on over if you want to get stronger, and hey, come on over if you want to help teach us some stuff, because all of us are learning. Thank you so much for watching and your support, and until next time, Tubeverse.